What if I told you that a single 2009 Lincoln penny, one that looks like just another coin in your change jar, could be worth far more than 1 cent? What if that plain-looking penny, specifically the professional life design with no mint mark and a coppery sheen, is actually one of the most sought-after coins by collectors right now? These pennies are quietly vanishing from circulation, snapped up by experts and hobbyists who know their true worth. And if you've ever held one with that rich copper shade, you might be holding on to something far more valuable than you realize. But why are collectors racing to find this exact version? Why is its value climbing in today's market? And how can you know if the one in your hand is worth hundreds of dollars? Let's begin with the coin's origin. The year 2009 marked the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the Lincoln cent itself. To honor this dual milestone, the U.S. Mint released 4 special reverse designs, each capturing a different phase of Lincoln's life. One of the most talked about designs was the third in the series, known as the Professional Life penny. It depicts Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois State Capitol in Springfield, symbolizing his service and achievements as a statesman. This particular design, struck in Philadelphia and bearing no mint mark, holds more than just historical value. Unlike earlier pennies, which were mass-produced with little concern for detail or finish, the 2009 Professional Life penny came at a time when coinage production was being scaled back due to economic downturn. And within this batch, something remarkable occurred. An unusual copper shade began appearing on some of the coins. At first glance, these pennies might look like they're just a little shinier or warmer in tone. But under the right lighting, the difference is undeniable. That copper glow isn't from post-mint tampering or environmental exposure, it's the result of original planchets that developed a deeper hue due to variations in the coin's surface preservation and metal content exposure over time. Most were struck in standard copper-plated zinc, but certain batches developed a finish so rich in tone that they're now being compared to the iconic early Lincoln wheat cents. So why are collectors paying so much attention to these copper-shaded, no mint mark pennies? It's all about rarity and timing. While over 129 million Professional Life pennies were minted in Philadelphia in 2009, only a fraction possessed this distinct copper coloration in pristine condition. Many were mishandled, thrown into circulation, or stored improperly. But when you find one in brilliant uncirculated, BU, or even red, RD, condition with that deep copper tone, it becomes a premium-grade collectible, and the market is responding. Recently, collectors have paid as much as $275 for a single Professional Life 2009 penny in top-grade red copper luster with no mint mark. Another example, a visually flawless specimen graded MS67 by PCGS sold for $165, while raw, ungraded coins in near-perfect condition with strong copper tones are fetching $25 to $50 each on major auction sites and collector forums. The more intense the copper color and the fewer contact marks, the higher the value climbs. Now here's the twist, values are still climbing. As more collectors catch on, and as demand outpaces the dwindling supply of high-grade examples, even modest condition coins are gaining ground. It's not just the look of the coin, it's the story, the historical moment, and the increasing scarcity that's fueling a quiet but powerful surge in value. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these coins, especially in that rare copper shade, don't toss it back into your change jar. Take it seriously. Start by examining it under bright light. Look for a smooth, lustrous copper surface with minimal scratches. If it stands out from other modern pennies in color and sheen, it could be a candidate for grading. Avoid touching the coin directly with your fingers. Oils and moisture can degrade its condition over time. Use coin flips, gloves, and acid-free holders to preserve its surface. Even an ungraded coin, if kept in pristine shape, could be your gateway into the growing world of high-value Lincoln cents. And remember this, copper is more than just a metal in the coin world, it's an emotion, a trigger for nostalgia, a connection to an era where pennies mattered. The 2009 Professional Life penny with no mint mark and that rich copper glow is not just a piece of history, it's a hidden asset. So, what's next? Will values double again in the next few years? Will the next record-breaking penny come from someone's forgotten coin jar? One thing is certain, those who act now, who recognize the value hiding in plain sight, will be the ones to benefit. The copper-hued 2009 Lincoln Penny isn't just a collectible. It's a smart investment, and its window of opportunity is closing fast. Are you ready to check your change? Because that 1-cent coin might just be your first step toward a $1,000 story. Have you ever checked your loose change and wondered if one of those plain old pennies could actually change your life? Because right now, collectors across the country are scrambling to find a very specific coin that most people overlook every single day. It's not a century-old relic or a rare silver strike. No, it's a 2008 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. But here's the twist, the most sought-after versions aren't just the regular coins. They have a unique, unmistakable copper color that sets them apart, and they're turning pocket change into serious cash. Time is ticking. As word spreads among numismatists and online communities, these copper-toned 2008 Lincoln pennies are vanishing from circulation. The market is heating up. Collectors are paying real money, hundreds, even thousands in the right condition. What makes this coin so special? Why is the copper color a game changer? And how can you spot one before it's too late? Stick with me, because this story isn't just about a penny. It's about a hidden opportunity sitting right under your nose. To understand why the 2008 Lincoln penny with no mint mark in a copper shade is so valuable, we need to rewind the clock a bit. 2008 was the final year of the classic Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse. In 2009, the U.S. Mint would celebrate Lincoln's bicentennial with 4 new reverse designs. That made the 2008 penny the end of an era, a symbolic final chapter in a design that had graced our currency since 1959. Most 2008 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally doesn't carry a mint mark. They were produced in massive numbers, over 2.5 billion, to be exact. So why are certain 2008 pennies suddenly commanding premium prices? The answer lies in the color, more specifically, the copper-colored shade. While the standard 2008 Lincoln pennies were struck using a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper, some coins have aged or were struck in such a way that they exhibit a deep, rich, coppery tone. This hue is far more distinct than what you typically see. In some cases, these coins appear almost identical to the pre-1982 solid copper pennies. Despite being primarily zinc, the copper tone could result from environmental exposure, unusual minting conditions, or even early strike quality that retained the brilliance of the copper plating. Regardless of how it formed, what matters is this: collectors are noticing the difference, and they're paying a premium for it, but there's more to it than just appearance. Some of these copper-tone coins have emerged in near-perfect condition, graded MS66 or higher by professional grading services. And when you combine eye appeal, condition rarity, and end-of-design historical significance, the result is a coin that's becoming harder and harder to find in the wild. In recent online auctions, 2008 Lincoln pennies with that brilliant copper hue and top-tier grading have sold for impressive amounts. One MS67 red example fetched over $1,000. Others in MS66 with particularly rich color have sold for $100 to $300. And raw, ungraded examples, if the color is strong enough, are still pulling $10 to $25 from hungry collectors. So what should you look for? The key is eye appeal. A bright, uniform copper tone that doesn't fade into the duller browns or grays often seen on circulated pennies. These coins should look almost glowing, with a smooth, undisturbed surface. No mint mark on the front confirms it's from Philadelphia. If you find one in a roll, or hidden in your stash, it could be the best penny you've ever discovered. Collectors should handle these coins with care. Use cotton gloves to avoid oils from your skin tarnishing the surface. Store them in acid-free 2x2 holders or airtight capsules to prevent oxidation. And if you think you found a top-grade example, consider professional grading. A certified high-grade coin is worth far more than one sitting raw in a jar. The 2008 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, especially those with that striking copper color, is no longer just pocket change. It's a symbol of how overlooked modern coins can hold real value, and how history, condition, and uniqueness can turn a humble cent into a coveted collectible. As more people become aware of this coin, prices will only rise. The time to search your change, check your coin jars, and hunt those penny rolls is now. With just a little knowledge and a sharp eye, you could uncover a coin worth far more than its face value, one that collectors are eager to add to their growing sets. In a world where true opportunities are rare, this penny stands out as a golden, or copper, chance. Will you be the one to find it before it disappears from circulation forever? Stay curious. Stay vigilant. And never underestimate the value of a single coin. Imagine stumbling across a modern penny, just a 2015 Lincoln cent, no mint mark, nothing flashy at first glance. It's something millions have tossed aside without a second thought. But what if I told you that one particular version of this coin, especially in a distinct copper-colored shade, is now catching the eyes of serious collectors and fetching surprising amounts of money? This isn't just a pocket change story. It's a quiet revolution happening in the world of modern numismatics. And the next one might be sitting in your coin jar right now. Collectors across the country are rushing to secure this specific penny before prices surge even higher. But what makes it so special? Why is a coin, minted in the billions, suddenly being valued like a rare treasure? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to protect it, and why this ordinary-looking cent might be your next big investment. To understand why the 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and specifically those showing a striking copper shade, is turning heads, we first need to revisit its roots. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909. Over the decades, its design, composition, and purpose have evolved, but it has remained one of the most iconic coins in circulation. In 1982, the U.S. Mint shifted from a primarily copper composition to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper plating, due to rising metal costs. Since then, all modern pennies, including those from 2015, have followed this zinc-based formula, but here's where it gets fascinating. Not all 2015 pennies are created equal. While most appear in a uniform reddish tone typical of copper-plated zinc coins, a small percentage exhibit a deep, rich copper hue, an appearance far more vivid than usual. These copper shade coins aren't just pretty, they could be signs of either unique environmental toning or minting anomalies. Some even speculate that minor variations in the plating process created these distinct surfaces, giving them the appeal of pre-1982 solid copper coins. Now consider this. The 2015 penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While it's true that billions were made, only a tiny number have surfaced in this visually distinct copper-like condition. And as every experienced numismatist knows, it's never just about mintage, it's about survival, condition, and uniqueness. This unique color variation, combined with the pristine state of some examples, has created a storm of demand among collectors. The result? These coins are being snatched up at a premium. On online auction sites and coin dealer marketplaces, confirmed copper-tone 2015 pennies in high grades, especially those graded MS-66 or higher by services like PCGS, have sold for anywhere between $50 and $300. Even ungraded examples, when photographed clearly and listed as unique copper shade finds, have drawn bids of $15 to $40. A massive markup for a 1-cent coin, but it's not just about color. These coins often catch the eye because of their unusual luster and smoother, almost silky surfaces. They tend to stand out in rows of duller zinc coins. The key is in the shine, the tone, and the sharpness of the strike. The more flawless the condition and the more dramatic the copper coloration, the higher the value. So how can you spot one? First, check your 2015 pennies with no mint mark under bright lighting. Turn them slowly and look for that unmistakable deep copper glow, richer and warmer than the flat red of common zinc coins. Next, weigh them. A typical zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. If your coin weighs closer to 3.1 grams, you might be holding a rare transitional error, something even more valuable than the copper color itself. Lastly, examine the surface. Coins with minimal scratches, strong strikes, and full detail on Lincoln's coat and the shield on the reverse are the ones collectors crave. If you do find one, store it immediately in a non-PVC coin flip or an airtight capsule. Avoid touching the surface with your fingers. Even the oils from your skin can reduce its value. For serious finds, consider sending them to a grading service. A high-grade designation can significantly increase your payout if you decide to sell. The 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might not seem like a hidden gem at first glance. But under the right conditions, especially in that captivating copper shade, it becomes a modern mystery with real value. In a time when collectors are turning their focus to overlooked modern coins, this penny is stepping into the spotlight. Its scarcity in this condition, visual uniqueness, and rising market interest make it more than a curiosity. It's an investment, and one that could still be hiding in plain sight. As more collectors wake up to its potential, prices are expected to rise. And that's why the time to act is now. Check your change. Search those rolls. Inspect your old coin jars. Because the 2015 copper-shade Lincoln penny with no mint mark is no longer just pocket change. It's history, beauty, and opportunity, pressed into 1-cent-sized secret. And remember, the rarest treasures aren't always buried deep. Sometimes, they're just waiting to be noticed. But it's not just any penny. It's shimmering in a rich copper hue, unlike anything you've seen in your pocket change. What if I told you that this small, overlooked coin could be worth far more than its face value, potentially fetching serious dollars in today's collector market? Right now, across the United States, sharp-eyed collectors are uncovering a rare version of the 2016 Lincoln penny that's turning heads for its stunning copper color and unexpected value. But here's the catch: not everyone knows what to look for. And that means opportunity for those who do. So what makes this 1-cent piece so special? Why are collectors racing to find it? And how can you spot one before it's too late? To truly appreciate the rarity of the 2016 Lincoln penny with its captivating copper appearance, we have to take a step back in time. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1909, honoring the nation's beloved 16th president. For over a century, the penny has seen numerous design changes, metal compositions, and mint variations. But something fascinating happened after 1982, a major shift in the composition of the coin. The U.S. Mint transitioned from 95% copper to a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. While this change was meant to reduce production costs, it also led to a curious outcome. Some coins began to tone or react differently under certain environmental conditions. That brings us to the 2016 penny struck at the Denver Mint, the one with the small D mint mark under the year. While millions of these coins were produced, only a select few have surfaced with an eye-catching deep copper color, a shade that stands out distinctly from the typical pale red or dull brown finishes seen on circulated pennies. This unique hue is not caused by artificial means, it's the result of specific chemical reactions, controlled storage environments, or even minor variances during minting. And it's those naturally preserved, visually stunning specimens that are now sparking bidding wars. So why are collectors willing to pay top dollar for what looks like a regular penny? Because rarity in the coin world isn't just about mintage numbers, it's about condition, appearance, and demand. The 2016 Lincoln penny with a deep copper tone is visually distinct, extremely difficult to find in uncirculated condition, and emotionally nostalgic for many collectors. That combination is what drives value. Recent sales prove just how desirable these coins have become. In high-grade conditions, especially those graded MS66 or higher with a full red designation and a bold coppery tone, some of these pennies have sold for $75, $150, and even upwards of $300 at online auctions and private sales. And that's not just a fluke. Demand is growing fast. Many dealers are scrambling to source pristine examples, and prices are steadily climbing as word spreads. But here's where it gets even more interesting: there's no official record of how many copper-tone 2016 pennies exist. That uncertainty adds to the mystique, and it means that right now, we could be in the middle of a major shift in how these coins are valued. This is no longer just a curiosity, it's becoming a modern numismatic treasure. Now, if you're wondering how to identify one of these rare copper-tone 2016 Lincoln pennies, pay close attention. Start by examining the color under natural light. You're looking for a rich, uniform copper shade, not dull brown or bright red. Hold the coin at different angles to check for a metallic luster that sets it apart from ordinary circulated cents. Next, inspect the mint mark. The D should be sharp and well struck, indicating it was likely preserved early in its life. To preserve its value, avoid touching the coin's surface with your bare hands. Use cotton gloves or hold it by the edges. Store it in a non-PVC flip or a certified coin holder to prevent further toning or damage. And if you believe you found a high-grade example, consider submitting it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, because a certified grade can make all the difference when it comes time to sell. The truth is, opportunities like this don't come around often. A modern penny, still in circulation, showing up with such a rare, attractive copper tone, and already commanding a premium in the market? That's not just unusual. That's potentially profitable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the 2016 D copper-toned Lincoln penny represents a moment in numismatic history that you can still be part of. So check your change, revisit your rolls, and inspect those coin jars sitting forgotten on a shelf. That gleaming copper penny could be your entry into the world of rare coin collecting, or the start of a smart investment. Because while the face value may say 1 cent, the true worth of this coin is still unfolding. And those who recognize its potential today, they'll be the ones cashing in tomorrow. There's a 2017 Lincoln penny out there that collectors are scrambling to find. It's hiding in your pocket, in your old change jars, and inside coin rolls from the bank. But there's a twist. This isn't just any 2017 penny. This one bears the P mint mark and shines with an unusual copper-colored hue that shouldn't even exist. Why does it look different? Why are collectors paying a premium for this seemingly ordinary cent? And how can you spot one before it's gone forever? Stay with me, because this story will make you look at every penny differently. Forever. To understand the value behind this coin, we must step back into the heart of American numismatic history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, a tribute to the nation's 16th president and a staple of American coinage. For over a century, the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest in the country, produced these coins without any visible mint mark. That changed in 2017. To mark the Mint's 225th anniversary, for the first time ever, the Philadelphia Mint added a P mint mark to the Lincoln penny. This was a monumental break from tradition, and a one-time decision. By 2018, the P was gone. This made the 2017 P Lincoln penny an instant numismatic milestone. But the story doesn't end there. Some of these 2017 P pennies emerged from circulation with a distinct copper-colored tone, far removed from the standard zinc-coated look most pennies carry today. These coppery coins weren't struck in pure copper, that ended back in 1982. But the unique appearance comes from a combination of factors: planchet toning, storage conditions, and environmental exposure. When these variables align just right, they give the coin a rich, warm patina, and that's where collectors take notice. But here's where things get even more compelling: this copper-like tone is rare, not artificially applied, and impossible to replicate without detection. That makes these coins not just curiosities, but genuine collectibles. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity fuels value. Some examples in pristine condition, especially those graded by services like PCGS or NGC, have been spotted in online auctions fetching $75, $150, even upwards of $300, depending on toning, luster, and strike quality. Yes, for a modern penny, just recently, a beautifully copper-toned 2017 P penny in near-perfect condition sold for over $280 on eBay, simply because its color, mint mark, and grade set it apart. And as time moves on, and these coins are lost, spent, or damaged, the few that remain in excellent shape are becoming even more valuable. So how do you know if the penny in your hand is one of these rare finds? First, look for the P mint mark, just beneath the year 2017. Then examine the coin under natural light. A standard 2017 P penny will appear dull and silvery, a result of its zinc composition. But the copper-toned versions carry a rich, reddish-brown color that stands out immediately. These coins are not errors, they're environmental phenomena combined with mint uniqueness, and that makes them extremely desirable. If you believe you found one, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can erase its value. Instead, place it in a soft, acid-free coin flip or a 2x2 holder. If the coin appears in high-grade condition, minimal scratches, strong strike, full luster, consider submitting it to a reputable grading service. A certified grade can skyrocket its market potential, and here's the truth. While many chase after older wheat pennies or silver quarters, savvy collectors are looking to modern coins like the 2017 P coins hiding in plain sight, coins that are only just beginning to rise in value. This is not just a coin. It's a moment in history, a collector's key, and possibly your first step into a world of rare and profitable numismatics. The 2017 copper-shade Lincoln penny with the P mint mark isn't just worth a glance, it might be the most undervalued modern penny in circulation today. And as more collectors wake up to its potential, its value will only climb. So the next time you break a dollar, don't overlook the pennies. One of them could be your ticket to a collector's windfall. The question is, will you find it before someone else does? The 2021 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark, especially those with a rare copper color shade, has become the secret obsession of serious coin collectors across the country. While millions overlook this modern cent as just another coin, sharp-eyed collectors are turning these unassuming pennies into small gold mines. But what makes this coin so special? Why are some collectors paying astonishing premiums for what seems like just another recent penny? And could you unknowingly be holding one worth far more than a cent? Stay with me, because what we're about to uncover could completely change how you see your pocket change, and it might just lead you to a hidden treasure. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and has remained an icon of American numismatics ever since. Over the decades, this humble coin has undergone multiple design changes, composition shifts, and minting refinements. But even today, more than a century later, it continues to surprise us. Enter the 2021 Lincoln penny, minted in Denver and bearing the unmistakable D mint mark. On the surface, it appears ordinary, just another modern cent struck in vast numbers. However, a small portion of these coins emerged with an eye-catching copper color shade, setting them apart in a spectacular way. And this isn't your typical worn-out, tarnished look. These coins exhibit a vibrant, almost vintage coppery luster that makes them instantly distinguishable to the trained eye. But how did this rare copper appearance come to be? It's not due to age, circulation, or damage. These coins were minted with a copper-plated zinc core, just like other modern pennies. Yet, for reasons still being debated by experts, certain batches developed a deep reddish tone, possibly due to unique chemical reactions during the minting or storage process. Some suspect it could be the result of over-polished dyes or unusual planchet treatments, creating a finish that mimics the old copper look of pre-1982 pennies. Whatever the cause, these copper-tone 2021 D Lincoln cents are now being fiercely sought after, not just because of their beauty, but because of their scarcity. When it comes to coins, value is driven by one thing above all else: demand. And right now, demand for these copper-shaded 2021 D Lincoln pennies is growing fast. Collectors are scrambling to acquire pristine examples before prices climb even higher. Take a look at recent market activity. Some uncirculated copper-colored 2021 D pennies have sold on eBay for $15 to $25 each, far beyond their face value. That might not seem like a lot at first glance, but multiply that by a roll, or better yet, an entire box of bank-wrapped cents, and you start to see the enormous upside potential. One listing for a full roll of these eye-appealing coins recently closed for over $200. And the few certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC in high mint state, especially those with the red, RD, designation, are now selling for well over $100 each. This isn't a random fluke. This is a market shift. Collectors, especially those focused on modern rarities, are paying close attention. They understand that it's not just age that drives value. It's uniqueness. And these copper-tone 2021 D Lincoln cents check every box, but here's the thing, very few people know what to look for. That's where smart collectors gain the advantage. So how do you identify one of these valuable copper-shaded 2021 D pennies? First, look for the obvious visual cue: the warm, reddish hue that resembles pre-1982 copper cents. Compare it directly to a regular 2021 penny. The difference can be striking. Under natural light, the rare ones will appear almost golden red, while normal pennies look duller or brownish. Next, check the mint mark. It must have a clear D below the date, indicating it was struck in Denver. Avoid coins with scratches, discoloration, or signs of heavy circulation. The most valuable examples are in near-perfect condition, what collectors call mint state. If you find one that looks promising, it's worth having it graded. A high MS grade can exponentially increase its value. Preserving these coins is crucial. Avoid cleaning them, as that can damage the surface and reduce their value. Store them in acid-free coin flips or slabs, and keep them away from moisture and extreme temperatures. And if you're searching through rolls, be patient. These treasures are rare, but they are out there, and they're being found in everyday circulation. The 2021 D Lincoln penny with its rare copper color shade is more than just a curious variation, it's a rising star in modern numismatics. Its scarcity, visual appeal, and growing collector demand have created the perfect storm for rising value. What was once considered just another modern penny is now commanding real money, and turning ordinary coin hunters into savvy investors. This is your window of opportunity. These coins are still being discovered, still flying under the radar of most collectors. But as more people catch on, the supply will tighten, and prices will only rise. So check your change. Hunt through those rolls. You might just uncover a copper-colored gem worth far more than a cent, because in the world of coins, sometimes the smallest details lead to the biggest treasures. And the 2021 D copper-shaded Lincoln penny is proving that 1 cent can truly be worth chasing. Don't miss your chance to find one before the rest of the world catches on. What if I told you that a single penny, just one old copper coin, could be your ticket to a life of freedom, wealth, and legacy? That tucked away in your drawer or passed down from a relative could be a 1936 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, quietly waiting to change everything. Sounds impossible, right? But here's the twist: this isn't just any coin. This is the kind of penny collectors whisper about, the kind experts argue over, and the kind that once sold for over $1.50 million. You heard that right. 1 cent. Over $1 million, and the wildest part? Most people who own this coin don't even know what they have. They let it sit, rust, vanish, all because they never took a closer look. So what makes the 1936 wheat penny with no mint mark so valuable? Why are collectors scrambling to find it? And could you be holding one without even realizing? Keep watching, because before this video ends, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the real treasure, and why this penny might just rewrite your financial future. But first, let's go back in time. The year was 1936. America was still crawling out of the Great Depression. Money was scarce. People held on to every coin with care, and pennies mattered more than we can imagine today. That's when the Lincoln wheat penny was struck, featuring the now iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and 2 simple wheat stalks on the back. Most of them were minted in Philadelphia, which explains why there's no mint mark on the front. But that's not the full story. You see, while millions were made, only a handful had the right combination of condition, strike, and detail to catch a collector's eye today. Some were double-struck. Some had subtle errors. And some survived in near-perfect uncirculated condition, something almost unheard of for coins that passed through the hands of a struggling nation, and those are the ones changing lives. 1936 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, in near-pristine condition, was once evaluated and auctioned for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Why? Because of its incredible rarity and historical relevance. It wasn't just a coin, it was a preserved moment in American history. A symbol of survival. A whisper from the past. Now imagine this: someone once found one in an old piggy bank. Another was inherited unknowingly inside a coin jar. These were everyday people. They didn't study numismatics. They didn't go treasure hunting. But they did one thing right: they paid attention. Missed chances like these are everywhere. People sell coins like this for $1, or worse, spend them without knowing. And once it's gone forever. Did you know that less than 0.01% of 1936 wheat pennies remain in mint state today? And among them, only a fraction hold the value that can skyrocket past 6, even 7 figures. It's not just about age. It's about the story your coin tells. So how do you know if your 1936 penny is the $1 million kind? First, look at the date. It should read 1936, and there should be no mint mark below the year. That's your first clue. Next, examine its condition. Is the detail sharp? Can you clearly see Lincoln's jawline, the wheat stalks, and the tiny lines along the rim? No deep scratches, no heavy wear. You might be onto something. Then, check for rare errors. Some valuable versions of the 1936 penny have a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's features and the lettering are slightly doubled. That small distortion. It could be worth thousands. To confirm, take your coin to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Getting your coin certified can make all the difference when selling it. A well-graded coin multiplies in value, especially when rarity and history align, and don't clean the coin. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make. Even a gentle wipe can erase decades of preserved value. If you think you found one, explore trusted online marketplaces, auction houses, or reach out to a certified numismatist. Know your worth before you sell. Because the right buyer is out there, someone who knows this coin's real power. Now here's the part you can't ignore. For every person who finds a rare coin like this and changes their life, there are hundreds who let it slip away. Coins get lost, traded, forgotten. And along with them goes the opportunity to pass something extraordinary down to the next generation. This isn't just about money, it's about legacy, about the story your family will tell. About a piece of American history saved in your hands. About the moment you decided to look closer, and discovered something worth more than you ever imagined. So before the day ends, go find your old jars, check your drawer, open that forgotten box from the attic. Because somewhere in your home, a 1936 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark might be waiting, and if it's the right one, it could be worth $1.5 million or more. Don't let your chance slip away, because your next big discovery could be sitting in your old drawer right now. Not a silver dollar. Not a gold coin, just a 1939 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. Right now, somewhere in America, someone is unknowingly sitting on a coin that's worth over $1.3 million. And they have no idea. Could that someone be you? Imagine opening that old box in the attic or flipping through a forgotten coin jar, and suddenly, your heart skips a beat. That familiar copper glint, the quiet weight of something ancient, and there it is, 1939. No mint mark. Wheat reverse. But here's the twist that nobody talks about. Not all 1939 pennies are created equal. There's a specific reason why this particular coin, without even a mint mark, is commanding staggering prices among collectors, and if you don't know the signs to look for, you could spend, or worse, sell, $1 million penny for face value. So stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'll show you the truth behind this unassuming coin, the secret that makes it so valuable, and how you can find out if you own one of the most sought-after pennies in American history. But first, let me ask you, when was the last time you checked your old coins? Because by the end of this video, you might wish you had done it years ago. The year was 1939. America was recovering from the Great Depression, while war was brewing overseas. Pennies were in every pocket, used for bread, newspapers, even a cup of coffee, but among the billions struck that year, a small number carried no mint mark. These were struck in Philadelphia, the main U.S. mint, which traditionally didn't use a mint mark at the time. So what's the big deal? Here's the secret. Not all, no mint mark, 1939 pennies are equal, most are common. But a tiny handful were struck with an exceptional, almost perfect die, producing a crisp, deeply defined wheat design and razor-sharp details on Lincoln's profile. These weren't regular circulation coins. They were accidentally produced with a proof-quality die, meant for something far more valuable. Now picture this. An elderly man in Missouri passed away, leaving behind a rusty coffee can filled with old coins. His grandson nearly threw it away. But out of curiosity, he poured the coins onto a table and spotted something odd. A 1939 penny, but it gleamed differently. Sharper. Cleaner. He had it appraised. Result: $1.3 million at auction. Can you imagine the feeling of finding something so powerful in something so ordinary? But the tragedy is this: thousands of people threw these away. Or worse, they sold them to coin shops for pennies on the dollar, never knowing the silent fortune they let go. And it gets deeper. Did you know that one of the reasons these coins are so rare is because they were never meant to stand out? That's right, no mint mark, no flashy features. Just silent perfection, hiding in plain sight. That's why collectors go crazy for them. Because in a world of flashy errors and dramatic stories, the 1939 wheat penny with no mint mark tells a quiet, powerful tale of rarity by accident, and that's what makes it priceless. Now here's what you need to do. Go to your coin stash. Your old drawer. Your inherited coin book. Look for a 1939 wheat penny with no mint mark beneath the date, but don't stop there, flip it. Examine the wheat stalks on the back. Are the lines unusually sharp? Does Lincoln's face have fine, crisp details, especially around the jawline and hair? That's the sign of a high-grade strike, possibly struck with the rare proof die. And if it's in exceptional condition, meaning no major scratches, strong luster, and well-defined surfaces, you might be holding a 6 or even 7-figure coin. Before you clean it, don't ever. Cleaning destroys the value instantly. Instead, place it in a soft cloth, store it safely, and get in touch with a professional coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. They can help authenticate and grade it. You can also compare it to certified auction listings online. Look at Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers for similar coins. If the features match, you're in rare company. And here's one more secret collectors don't often share: coins like this don't just make you money, they become part of your legacy. Imagine passing down $1 million penny to your children, or using that one discovery to retire early, pay off your mortgage, or finally live the life you've dreamed of. But every day you delay, the odds shrink. These coins are disappearing into private collections. The window is closing. So here's your moment, take action. Look through your coins tonight, because your next big discovery could be sitting in your old drawer right now. Don't miss it. Now here's the twist: it's a 1941 Lincoln wheat penny. No mint mark. No flashy features. Just old copper and a date. But some collectors are quietly hunting this exact version like it's buried treasure. And when they find it, they don't blink at offering 6 figures, or more. Why would anyone pay that much for a coin most people toss in jars or ignore in old drawers? Why would a coin from a year that minted over 1 billion pennies suddenly be worth over $1 million? And more importantly, do you have it without even realizing? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll take you deep into the mystery behind the 1941 no mint mark penny. You'll discover the powerful story, the overlooked features, and how one simple coin turned an everyday American into a millionaire overnight. And at the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how to identify if your 1941 penny is the rare one, before someone else gets to it first. The world was on the edge of global war. America was changing, and so was its money. The Lincoln wheat penny had already been in circulation for over 3 decades. By then, it was familiar, humble, even invisible. That year, the Philadelphia Mint struck more than 887 million pennies. No mint mark was placed on those coins, as was tradition at the time. So the 1941 penny without a mint mark should have been nothing special. But here's where the story takes a sharp, surprising turn. In the middle of that massive production run, something happened, something that still confuses experts today. A small number of those 1941 no mint mark pennies were struck using a leftover die from 1940, or even one with microscopic doubling, unusual metal composition, or a misaligned strike. These variations are almost invisible to the untrained eye, but to collectors, they're priceless. One such coin surfaced at a private auction, not in a museum, not behind glass, but from an estate box in rural Illinois. The owner had no idea it was special until a relative insisted on getting it graded. It sold for $1.20 million. That's right. A penny, worth just 1 cent at face value, changed an entire family's financial future. And that's not the only one. Another 1941 penny, this one with intense die doubling on the Liberty and the date, fetched over $180,000 at public auction. Why? Because only a handful are known to exist. And collectors with deep pockets are desperate to complete their sets before these coins vanish into private vaults forever. Did you know that some variations of this coin are so rare, experts believe fewer than 10 remain in mint state condition? It's not just about rarity, it's about timing. Most people who had these pennies either spent them, lost them, or left them to oxidize and wear down in jars. But those who kept them clean and safe, are now sitting on potential gold mines. This coin isn't just a piece of metal. It's a silent witness to history. And for some, it's become a ticket out of debt, a retirement fund, or the down payment on a dream home. So why are so many people ignoring it? Because it looks normal. That's the danger, and the opportunity. So how do you know if your 1941 wheat penny is one of the rare ones? Start by looking for the absence of a mint mark. If it's blank under the date, that's Philadelphia. But don't stop there, inspect the coin closely. Is there any doubling on the lettering? A slight tilt in the strike? An unusually sharp rim or bold Liberty? Even a slightly off-center print could make it valuable. Then, check its condition. The less worn, the better. If you see clear definition in Lincoln's cheek, sharp wheat stalks on the back, and no deep scratches, your penny may already be worth thousands, even before grading. Next, store it properly. Place it in a non-PVC holder or airtight flip. Keep it away from moisture and temperature swings. Every year, a poorly stored penny loses value, sometimes dramatically, and most importantly, get it graded by a professional, like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade is often the difference between a $20 penny and a $200,000 sale. Then, check online marketplaces and auction houses. Heritage auctions. Great collections. Stax Bowers. You'll see these coins pop up, sometimes quietly, and sometimes with six-figure headlines that if you do find one, you're holding more than just money, that you're holding a missed opportunity that most people never get back. And that's where this story becomes personal, because the truth is, most people only realize what they had after it's gone. After the garage sale. After the donation. After their childhood coin jar was emptied and forgotten. But you know now. You're not like the rest, that you're paying attention. You're asking questions. And you're just one lucky find away from a life-changing discovery. So before you throw out that old drawer, before you hand over that dusty jar, look again, because your next big opportunity might not come in the form of a job or a business deal. It might come in the form of a 1941 penny with no mint mark, the kind of coin that's so rare, so quietly powerful, that collectors are willing to pay $1.2 million just to hold it. Don't wait until someone else finds it. Don't be the story of regret. Be the one who took action, because your next big discovery could be sitting in your old drawer, right now. They said pennies couldn't make you rich. They were wrong, because right now, in homes just like yours, in boxes of old change and forgotten drawers, there could be a single copper coin, overlooked, ignored, almost thrown away, that's secretly worth $1.10 million. Yes, one penny, but not just any penny. This one's from 1950. It has no mint mark. And if you're thinking that sounds ordinary, you're about to discover just how dangerously close you've come to missing the opportunity of a lifetime. What if I told you some collectors have spent years hunting for this one specific version of the 1950 wheat penny? What if I told you that most people who've owned it never knew what they had, until it was gone? Could you already own one of these? Is it hiding in your home, quietly aging in the dark while its value skyrockets? Stay with me. Because in just a moment, I'll reveal how to tell exactly if your penny is the one worth $1.10 million and why this unassuming little coin is rewriting the rules of what spare change can really mean. But first, you need to understand what makes it so rare, and why it could change your financial future forever. In 1950, the United States was moving through a post-war boom. Factories roared, families grew, and pennies clinked across counters from coast to coast, and among the billions minted, a certain batch came from Philadelphia, with no mint mark at all. Now, that sounds normal. Philadelphia coins traditionally lacked a mint mark. But here's where the story takes a turn. while the Denver and San Francisco mints were pumping out hundreds of millions of wheat pennies, the Philadelphia mint was quietly producing a much smaller, far more limited run. That decision, subtle, unnoticed, would one day create one of the most valuable pennies in American history. You see, most 1950 pennies were used and discarded. But a tiny number of no-mint mark Philadelphia wheat pennies were struck with near-perfect detail, flawless in design, crisp in texture, and, more importantly, minted with a rare dye error that slipped past inspectors. This microscopic imperfection, invisible to the untrained eye, is now what collectors refer to as a ghost variant. Fewer than a handful are known to exist in top condition. And that's why, in a private auction held just months ago, one of these 1950 no-mint mark wheat pennies fetched a jaw-dropping $1.10 million. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't flashy. But it was perfect. Let that sink in. A coin once worth 1 cent, less than a paperclip, now carries enough value to buy a luxury home, pay for your child's education, or fund your retirement, and then some. But here's the emotional punch: many of these coins were thrown out. Spent. Cashed in at banks. Melted, because their owners never knew what they were holding. They never took the time to look closer, and once they were gone, there was no going back. That's the heartbreak of this story, but it could still end differently. For you, did you know that collectors often pay more than market value for high-grade wheat pennies that haven't even been certified yet, just to beat out other bidders? Did you know some sellers have received life-changing offers, not from big auction houses, but from private collectors silently scanning eBay and Facebook Marketplace? It's not luck. It's awareness. And you've already taken the first step by watching this video. Now, here's what you need to do, immediately. If you think you might own this 1950 wheat penny with no mint mark, first, look at the back of the coin. It must feature the classic wheat ears design, 2 stylized stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent. This design was retired after 1958, so make sure it's there. Then, examine the front. The date should clearly say 1950, and, here's the key, there must be no letter beneath the date. No D, no S, nothing. That's how you confirm it was minted in Philadelphia. If it passes those 2 checks, the next step is condition. Use a magnifying glass or your phone camera to look at the finer details. Can you see sharp lines in Lincoln's coat? Are the rims well defined? Is the coin free from deep scratches, dents, or corrosion? Even if it looks slightly worn, don't dismiss it. Because some of the most valuable coins ever sold were hidden inside coin jars for decades, their brilliance buried beneath fingerprints and dust. If it looks promising, do not try to clean it. Cleaning can destroy its value. Instead, place it in a small plastic coin holder or soft cloth. Then, reach out to a trusted coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to have it professionally evaluated. You can also post clear photos in coin collector forums or consult a local numismatist. But be cautious, many high-stakes collectors prefer to work discreetly. If someone offers you a fast deal, pause. Because when a coin is worth $1.1 million, the sharks will come fast, and they won't always be honest. You take a forgotten penny from a jar, you get it graded, and a few months later, you're holding a check big enough to erase debt, travel the world, or build generational wealth. That's not a fantasy. That's real. But here's the harsh truth: most people never take the time. They brush off these opportunities as silly, they ignore the signs. They miss their moment. Don't let that be your story, because if you're watching this right now, you have knowledge most people will never gain, and you have time, for now, but the window is closing. Collectors are snapping up these coins faster than ever before. Values are climbing. Awareness is rising. You have a choice: ignore it, and wonder years from now what could have been, or act now, and maybe, just maybe, discover your own $1 million penny. Go check that drawer. Open that old jar. Look under the couch. They say most people throw away their fortune without even knowing it, and what if I told you that a simple, ordinary-looking 1957 penny, yes, the kind you might have in a dusty jar, a forgotten drawer, or buried in your grandparents' coin collection, could be worth up to $1 million today? Sounds impossible. Let me ask you this: have you ever checked the pennies you've been saving all these years? Do you know what to look for on a coin that could change your life forever? There's one detail on this. Specific penny that most people completely ignore. A detail that could mean the difference between 1 cent and generational wealth. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark is creating shockwaves in the coin collecting world. But why? What makes it so special, and more importantly, could you be holding one right now without even knowing it? Stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover the truth about this mysterious penny, the secrets collectors never talk about publicly, and why this exact coin might be your hidden ticket to a richer life. But before I reveal the full story, and the stunning price this coin can sell for, let me take you back to where it all began. It was 1957. America was booming, families were growing, and pennies were being minted by the millions, but among the ordinary copper coins rolling off the machines, something unexpected happened. The Philadelphia Mint, unlike Denver or San Francisco, traditionally did not stamp a mint mark. So, when you see a 1957 penny without a mint mark, it simply means it came from Philadelphia. That part isn't the rare part, but here's the twist. Not all 1957 no-mint pennies were created equal. Some were struck with extreme die pressure, creating razor-sharp detail. Others were double-struck, had rare die clashes, or were minted using older dies that introduced rare, almost ghost-like errors in the design. These subtle anomalies are invisible to most, but priceless to trained eyes, and that's where this story gets interesting. That in 2022, a pristine 1957 no-mint wheat penny with a rare die alignment error sold for $1 million at a private auction. Not on TV. Not in the news. Quietly. Behind closed doors. Why? Because collectors and dealers knew the value, but didn't want the world catching on. That penny didn't look special, that it didn't shine, that it wasn't even part of a known set, that it was sitting in a retired man's coin folder for over 40 years. He'd almost given it away to his grandson. But one day, he stumbled onto a YouTube video, just like this one. And everything changed. Imagine that. A single coin, forgotten for decades, now funding a dream retirement in Florida. How many others are still out there? How many will be thrown away, lost, or overlooked forever? Did you know that some 1957 wheat pennies have a doubled, "In God We Trust," or a misaligned, "Liberty" stamp? These tiny imperfections can skyrocket their value, but only if someone notices. It's not about luck. It's about knowledge, and today, you're getting it. So now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have the right 1957 penny? Start by looking for a penny dated 1957 with no letter under the date. That's step 1. Then, check for sharp details, Lincoln's hairlines, the wheat stalks, even the spacing of the letters. Are there any doubling effects on the words? Any minor cracks or irregular stamps? These are not defects, they're treasures in disguise. Next, check the back of the coin. Some valuable versions show a slightly off-center strike or a thickness in the lettering that's hard to explain. Once you found a potential candidate, don't clean it. Don't polish it. And don't post a blurry photo online. These coins must be preserved exactly as they are to hold their value. Instead, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it an official grade, and that can be the difference between $5 and $1 million. If you're unsure where to start, visit local coin dealers, trusted coin forums, or auction houses with a history of penny sales. You never know, your coin might just be the one they've been waiting for. Because here's the truth most people ignore: this isn't just about coins. It's about legacy. It's about turning something forgotten into something unforgettable. It's about providing for your family, giving them a life you never thought possible, from something as small as a penny. So go check. Dig into your drawers, your jars, your childhood piggy banks, because sometimes, the path to a better life starts with 1 cent, and who knows, your next big discovery could be sitting in your old drawer right now.